Let's go in 2024 Michigan football camp. I've put the word out to all the sources, kind of what do we expect, what don't we expect, and what things are going to surprise you. Want to give you guys the full scope of what this team will bring to the field in just 4 days. And then 11 days will could end up being the biggest, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, games of the 2024 college football season. Michigan, Texas at the Big House. But I will be in town for that game. We're going to fly in Friday afternoon, leaving Sunday night, spend the whole weekend in and around the area. So remind me, because I can't remember, what is the best pizza place I should take the fam? I'll have both Yoder kids. My sister's going to be there. I'm going to be with my cousins, etc., wife. What's the best pizza place within a 45-minute drive of Ann Arbor? Make your claim down in the comments. I'm just going to say whoever gets the most votes, whatever place, and if there's multiple locations, tell me maybe which one you think is the best. Whichever one gets the most votes, we are going to go. I'll take a picture. I'll post on my Twitter account next weekend. Let me know down in the comments. Hook a brother up on the best pizza place in Ann Arbor, or within 45 minutes. Not too crazy of a drive for me and the wife and kids. Number one thing to watch for, number one takeaway insight that I have is whether it happens week 1, week 5, but by the end of the year, this is going to, again, for the second year in a row, and I think really for the last 4 years, be the best defense in America. The linebacking core has some good starters, and I think the depth there is going to be a little suspect. We don't really know what we have, but Ernest Hemingway at the linebacker position, Maryland transfer, Jashawn Barnum, they are going to be high-level players, right? It's kind of ironic that Michigan's 2 linebackers are going to be both transfers from other Big Ten schools. But Jimmy Roller is the backup, the third guy. I don't know what to expect from this linebacking group. And I'm considering the outside guys, the defensive ends. I don't care what they call them, edges, etc. Those are defensive linemen to me. I know the depth charts will say, oh, those are linebackers, etc., etc. The starting 11, those guys, Derek Moore and Derek Moore and who am I missing on the outside? Josiah Stewart. Those are the defensive ends. The linebackers are the 2 guys I just mentioned. What is the depth though outside of them? I am uncertain. Defensive line, I think it's the best starting 4 in the country. And the secondary, I've told you about the secondary. It's all names you know. But they're adding 4 high-level starting players from other schools. You see them there. A starter from Louisville, from Michigan State, UNLV, and Albany. We'll see what we get from Amir Hall. But the depth in the secondary is going to be probably equal, and you're going to see actually more of a rotation, as last year Michigan had just their 5 guys, sometimes 6 guys in there as a simple rotation, and you didn't get a ton of other players seeing significant playing time. Since you've got so many high-impact transfers coming over, I truly believe that you are going to see, oh, wow, who's that guy? Who's that guy? Who's that guy? We're all going to be asking our questions. Who is that guy? Because there's 4 transfers in the top 9, top 10 players in the secondary who are all going to get potential to be in that starting lineup. So get your roster out on Saturday. Make sure you're kind of following along, because there's going to be players making tackles that you might have never even heard their name spoken. Want to give a thank you to you guys, the audience. As I said, we let Preston down 2 weeks ago. Last week, 750 likes. You guys came through in a big way. 1,310 likes. Absolutely stunning. The fam was super excited. I showed up in the video when I called and asked you guys, though. And before he went to school, he tossed the jersey on today. And Preston, as promised, gave a thank you to the Michigan Football Report audience.
Thanks for liking the video. Horns down. Go blue.
Go blue. Yeah, what more can you say? Thank you. Horns down. Go blue. So thanks to Preston. Thanks to all of you guys for showing the love to the Yoder fam. The kids wearing Michigan gear nearly on a daily basis, going into school in the heart of Dallas, Texas. You walk in, you see these parents they're trying to elbow him. I saw a dad the other day trying to trip him, because these are sick people, these Texas fans. Absolutely sick people. And you heard him say horns down. You heard him say go blue. Whichever one you prefer. Give me a go blue or a horns down. We put him to bed tonight, maybe tomorrow night. We might be a little later publishing this video here on Tuesday. I'm going to read them all off to you guys, which is going to get more go blues or more horns down. Let's keep things rolling on my 6 things to watch for, not just this weekend, but for the entire 2024 Michigan football season. Coming this weekend, though, you're going to see 5 guys walk out there with the ones on the offensive line. But that's not going to be what I expect it to be midseason or the end of the season. You are going to have rotation in there, just like the 2021 season. You're going to have like, wait, where's this guy in? Who's this guy? Why is there 4 different guys in on this, or maybe 3 different guys in on this drive than there were last drive on the first team offensive line? We mentioned Evan Link, right, battling for a starting job at the right tackle. We mentioned Dominic Gudis, right, Tony Soprano's second son. He is in there battling for snaps at the center position, and some out there even speculate he might be the guy that gets the starting job by week 3 or week 4. So don't expect this first starting lineup on the offensive line to be the guys that are there against Ohio State. They're January 21st or 20th, whenever it is, when Michigan's winning their second national championship. Ironically, Jack, what a day that's going to be. The day of the inauguration is all presidential inauguration, same day as the College Football National Championship. How about that? What a day that's going to be. What a day that's going to be. We're January 8ers. Maybe it makes sense. Yeah, maybe it makes sense, right? J8ers, throw up the 8s down in the comment. Next up, Semaj Morgan's emergence. Did it all last year, right? Caught the ball. Was getting the ball on reverses, right? Punt return guy, right? Almost took that one back, but got caught from behind. I'm going to talk more about Semaj Morgan, but first, a word from today's sponsor. Football season is here, and for me, that means longer days at the office and less time at home to prepare meals. Thankfully, I've got today's sponsor, Factor, to help keep me full, even on game days. Fuel up with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals in time for the football season, thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore with Factor. Enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle. Choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well balanced. Keep the kitchen time to a minimum. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes. No shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. Head to factormeals.com/MichiganChat50 and use code MichiganChat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code MichiganChat50 at factormeals.com/MichiganChat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is still active. If anything, Semaj Morgan is the best shit talker in all of college football. Remember after the Ohio State game, he's like, Ryan Day's a bitch. Number 6 a bitch. Talking all kinds of shit on Instagram Live, and he basically did that all season. He's a wild card. He's kind of a trash talker. I can't remember which game it was. It wasn't the Ohio State game, but maybe Michigan State, Nebraska, something like that last year. I don't think Michigan. Did they play Nebraska last year? I can't remember, Jack. But nevertheless, mad shit talker, and he backed it up, right, as a true freshman last year, being a impactful player, catching the ball. But I think most impact is going to be as a punt returner and taking those the end around and those reverses. 204 yards receiving last year, 22 catches. I don't know how much that, the catch production is going to go massively up because of the dink and dunk nature of this offense, if it in fact is Alex Orji as the guy. But what I can say is that 10-ish yards per catch that he put up last year, just shy of 10 yards per catch, is going to go up significantly because he is going to be one of the 2 guys that they target downfield, right? He is not just going to be, a 5-yard streaking across the center of the field dump off guy like he was for much of the 2023 season outside of 1 or 2 deep passes that he got from J.J. McCarthy. So excited to see Semaj Morgan. Here's a chance that he could be Michigan's most impactful player on offense. That's an offense that's got EA Sports cover boy Donovan Edwards. That's got the best tight end in first-round draft projection, Colson Loveland. Semaj Morgan, just putting it out there, he could have a Steve Breston 2005-2006 type season. Punt returner, pass catcher, reverses. He is going to be a weapon for this team. I also think Donovan Edwards is going to have the breakout year that we've expected him for, right? 993 yards in 2022 as the backup running back, started 3 games. Last year was a little bit of disappointment, right? Had spots of success throughout the year, was dealing with maybe some personal issues, maybe thought he should be getting the ball a little bit more, couldn't get the ball inside the end zone when he got any handoffs inside the 10, inside the 5-yard line. We talked about it a couple weeks ago, Jack. Remember the one where all the players were like, give it to Don, and they still didn't give it to him inside the 2-yard line. in the middle of the season when Michigan was up 3 and 4 and 5 scores because they didn't trust that he could put his head down, find the hole, and get in the end zone like Blake Corum did, maybe the best short yardage running back in college football in the past 20 years. I think that's all going to change this year. But he's not just going to be a running back, right? We have seen Donovan Edwards. He threw a completed pass against Ohio State, 30-plus yards downfield last year. He threw a 75-yard touchdown pass as a true freshman against Iowa in the Big Ten championship game. He threw a pass back to J.J. McCarthy, probably the worst play of his career. McCarthy made the hell of a play, hit Roman Wilson down the field last year. But then you go back to his freshman year, right? 10 catches, 170 yards against Maryland. That is what I expect consistently, though, out of Donovan Edwards. One game, he might have 16 carries, 165 yards. The next game, he might have 11 catches, 100 yards. You're going to see him be a weapon. Some of those carries will be taken off him with Kalel Mullings, Benjamin Hall, Jordan Marshall, and others. I am excited for a Donovan Edwards breakout year and have him live up to the expectations that we've all had for the last 3 years. He's been a superstar player, but the stats over the course of an entire season will finally reflect what the Don brings to this Michigan football team. Next up, number 5, I think it's going to be a better pass rush than the vaunted epic 2021 with David Ojabo, and Aiden Hutchinson came in at number 2 as the Heisman. This is the best interior defensive line tandem college football seen in 5 years, 6 years, maybe even 10 years with Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. The players that are being overlooked by the pundits, the scribes, the blog boys out there that don't follow this team close enough are Josiah Stewart and Derek Moore, right? Those guys were on the field, right? The guys who were coming back here, they were on the field in overtime against Alabama. Jalen Harrell's on to the NFL, and others are on to the NFL. They're getting the starter snaps. The depth of this defensive line, I'm not 100% sure of, but I think the defensive pass rush with Grant and Graham just absolutely destroying the middle, and these two freaks of nature coming out of the outside are going to be formidable, and they're going to kind of make us forget about what we saw in 2021, Aiden Hutchinson and David Ojabo being the best pass rushing tandem in the Big Ten. At that point, in the prior 10 years, these four are going to make that group look just a level below what we're going to see here in 2024. TJ Guy, Eno Etta, right? Two players that came in, didn't really get a ton of play in their freshman year, are going to make a big-time impact. Those are the two backups that I see making a huge impact from the defensive line, especially on the pass rush. We are 4 days away from the big game against Fresno State. Kind of big game, right? It's Fresno State. But nevertheless, make sure you subscribe. Let's get to 32,000 subscribers before kickoff, 7:30 Eastern at Michigan Stadium, nationally televised on NBC, to rein in and coordinate the 2023 national champions. Join us on this fight to hit 32,000 subscribers. Don't let Sloppy Sam, don't let On3, don't let that bum Isaiah Hole beat us in subscribers. They're all kind of creeping up. They're in the 20s of thousands right now. Let's keep growing. Send that link to your friends if you've already subscribed and want them to join the party that is the Michigan Football Report. Watch out, Texas. Watch out, because I think the average college football fan, so wow, Michigan's down 18 starters, only 4 guys coming back. Jim Harbaugh is gone. Sherrone Moore is back, but a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, replacing basically the entire staff on both sides of the ball outside of 3 or 4 coaches. That Texas can go into the big house, and they are just going to take down Michigan. What they are forgetting, though, is Quinn Ewers. He's been part of a loss in Michigan Stadium already, right? It's haunting him. It's haunting his brain. He was part of the Ohio State team in 2021. You saw what that Michigan crowd, that Michigan defense can do to a passing quarterback like it did Coleridge Stroud. And I think Michigan's interior on both the offensive line and the defensive line is going to be absolutely absurd. You're saying out there, well, Texas is the best offensive line in college football. Okay. What do you call Kenneth Grant? What do you call Mason Graham? You think they're afraid of the Texas offensive line? Are you kidding me? I don't think it's going to be that much of a problem for Michigan to put pressure on Quinn Ewers. It's all going to be about what he does with it. Last year they said, what's the guy's name from the Falcons quarterback, Washington? Michael Penix. Yeah, Michael Penix. Just Washington. Oh, he's going to get the ball. The best thing he does, he gets the ball quick. What was he doing at the end of the game? He's walking off the field at NRG Stadium. I think that's the way with Quinn Ewers. Hope he doesn't get injured for the season or anything like that, but he is going to take hit after hit after hit after hit after hit from this defensive line. It's going to completely demoralize the Texas offense, and Michigan's going to do just enough. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game, just enough to beat Texas and be the talk of college football. I think Michigan wins that game. I think they are off to the races, going to face USC 2 weeks after that at home. We could be looking at a top 3 or 4 ranked Michigan football team by the end of the month of September. Will Michigan beat Texas? Let me know down in the comments. Just give me a simple yes or no. Be honest. Don't be a homer. I'm not, right? I'm not being a homer. Yes or no down in the comments. So to recap today's show, 6 insights for not just this weekend, but for the entire season. Michigan, the best defense of America. To be determined. Don't expect the offensive line depth chart game 1 to be the same as game 6, to be the same as game 12. Semaj Morgan, Donovan Edwards, their expectations are going to be through the roof from my perspective. Keep an eye on this pass rush because that is going to be the key to beating Texas in the second week of the year, September 7th. Michigan gets the big win, and we're off to the races for 2024. We will see you Wednesday. Till then, go blue.